Hi there. The black fork trap number 3 in the Sicilian is a variation on one of the most common pawn fork traps. It goes e4 and c5, knight f3, d6, and here white plays the unusual though acceptable bishop c4. After knight f6, knight c3 defends the pawn on e4, knight c6 and d3. The problem with the bishop being placed on c4 means it's vulnerable to be attacked by one of the black pawns. Either the b pawn after a6 supports its advance to b5, or at some point the d pawn moving to d5, as happens in this trap. Here black plays e6, which supports a d5 thrust. Now bishop e3, that's the cardinal mistake. And now black is already winning. We've seen this many times, this idea. d5 first hits the bishop on c4, and that pawn is heading one step further to d4 to fork the bishop on e3 and the knight on c3. So the game might continue. E takes on d5, e takes on d5, the bishop still being hit, drops back here to b3, and after d4 is played, black is essentially winning a piece. White might try to mess it around a little bit by playing a move like knight g5, which is hitting the pawn on f7. But black need not be in too much of a hurry to pick up one of those pieces, and rather can defend with bishop to e6. And then white will continue bishop takes e6, f takes e6, and knight takes e6, hitting the queen. Now queen e7 is hitting the knight on e6, and the bishop on e3 and the knight on c3 are still hanging. So three minor pieces of white's are under attack. So white can try knight b5, because if queen takes on e6, then knight to c7 is going to win for white, forking the king with the queen. Rook c8, again black's in no hurry to pick up any of the pieces, and rook c8 threatens now queen takes on e6 as well as d takes on e3. And now two continuations. If knight b c7 check, then black simply moves king to d7, and the threat now is the bishop on e3, and if the bishop moves, then rook takes on c7 will mean that the knight on e6 is pinned and won't be able to recapture on c7. And if instead of knight to c7 we see a move like knight takes on f8, then black can pick up the bishop on e3 with d takes on e3, and the knight is under fire on f8, and it's going to pick up maybe a pawn with knight takes on h7, rook takes in h7, leaving black in a totally winning position. So this has been the black fork trap number 3 in the Sicilian. Thanks for watching. Bye bye.